their band?
I think parts of the collection, I think, have been sold.
Of his. Do you remember if he dug us in one of the early newsletters? He talked about us. There was mention of a cemetery near Columbia that he excavated. Illinois. I said Columbus, Illinois, and I think they meant Columbia.
There's one that we got down there at Valmeyer, out in the bottoms.
Okay, the one at Fountain Creek.
No, that's a different one.
That's a different one. Okay, not at Fanai, was it, or was it another one?
It may have been that. Some guys, a guy I knew, his uncle or a relative had this farm down there, and in a hog pen they were digging up burials. And we went down there. They just plain Mississippi pipes. I gave them to Beck, that school teacher that's in Columbia.
Yeah.
So he should have all that stuff.
Was that near Harrisonville?
I think Beck was with me.
When you did that?
So you could get more information.
Oh, was that near the little town of Harrisonville?
No.
Because I talked with Beck, and he had a couple little plain pots.
Valmeyer.
Yeah, Valmeyer.
Valmeyer, yeah.
Okay. And that spider gorge. Did he? And he also he mentioned an eagle and spider gorge. There's no illustration. It's just.
I don't remember youth ever having it.
Okay.
There was a spider gorge found by some other guys that I didn't know very well up on the bluffs.
Like Caseyville.
Yeah. No, it's up in Caseyville, but it's in that general area.
Okay.
You know, there's no houses those days on any of the bluffs.
Yeah.
In that area. But I firmly believe that we've got two true agate basin-like points. And the later one, I begin to suspect, is probably more like a Browns Valley, because they're generally broader than flat. Or in the Hell Gap time period, which is a little later than Agate Basin.
Yeah. But I didn't know if they really had that much stratigraphy there at Noaked, other than the stuff was buried.
They didn't have that much. Maybe it was too close together, too.
Yeah.
Does this highway out here go to Chicago?
Yeah.
And what's that other one cut into it then, or what?
The 255?
Yeah.
It cuts in over by the racetrack, and then it swings back around and goes across it where Jefferson Barracks
It
was.
doesn't cut in, but it says Chicago on it.
Yeah, when you come up, because it meets up here. Yeah.
Came from, he said the guys got off out of his car at Sand Prairie Road. When the hell is it?
It's right.
Right here. And he was walking across the field over there somewhere, and he picked it up.
Oh, gee.
He was going to talk to the foreman. Well, they've raised the road since then.
Well, old Sand Prairie Lane was here, and this is where Witchery and them did the...
Yeah, I remember Witchery's work here. Well, then it'd been here.
Yeah.
But it wasn't far off the spot.
It was when the old road was there. Spraying for weeds.
What are you doing across the thing on the drill site?
I guess Bill Woods is riding up that Kuhneman, or George Holly's riding up Kuhneman, right, Bill?
Right.
I spent one day over there, picked up about 1,200, 1,300 drills.
That's on Mount 12?
Drills and flakes and cores.
There was mention of a cache of cells on a mound down in here. Do you ever remember anyone talking about that?
Yeah, right there.
Is that mound there?
This here, they dug this all out. There was a site down here in the bottom. They couldn't believe it. There were potsherds and flint, and they were living in this creek bottom.
What, was it just Mississippian?
Yeah. But this is a site that always interested me. I used to enjoy, there used to be about a Civil War period house right over there on that high spot right over there. And that's where you get all the drills that are polished. They had chickens, I guess.
Oh, and you got into there.
And these things are really polished, right on there.
So that was where you got the micro drills?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll head on up to Horseshoe Lake and see if we got.
I have picked up a Hopewell pottery there too.
I think SIU did they just do the one side of the road, Bill?
Yeah,
Or
both sides.
Both sides, and then did a controlled surface collection of the whole area.
But I'm sure that all of the beads that were at the shield site, there are about 8,000 beads, came from these people making them. They really had a setup.
Are they going to take that out of production at all?
Ultimately, yeah. The past few years I've had trouble getting the prairie seeds because of the dryness. Now we got another source apparently. So gradually it'll be taken out.
Now the state owns all of this now, right?
No, just up to the road there, that farm road.
The one back there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can turn the heat down, John?
Yeah, I did. You want me to put on the air conditioner now? 11, you ever remember? Are you talking right up here, Bill?
Yeah, around San Prairie 111.
Yeah, there's a mound there.
One that was excavated, I mean.
Oh, a site that was excavated?
Yeah, right up here. Up where the stop sign is?
Somewhere in this.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
All I remember is that a big spade was found right here. But I don't remember any excavation. But apparently it was in this field right here.
What did you have, Bill, that made you?
George Hawley called me one day and he had seen a reference to a report by someone from WashU who worked on the site somewhere right around this area. And
I
I'd
don't
never
recall
heard of it.
any site done here. I do remember the spade.
Did you, when Holder was over at WashU, did you work much with him at all?
No, not very much. He was working on the Quinneman mound. We were working at Bedford Company.
The state owns,
Gonna go in here?
did you want to swing in here?
There's a road used to be at the bottom of the thing. Is this it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just
Drive
follow
it.
that road around.
Does it go back toward the mound?
Yes, it does, yeah. You have to get right down by the lake.
That mound still up there?
Yeah, it's still there. Down a little further.
Down a little bit further.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right against the lake practically.
Kind of a drop-off turn.
Now this is the road we used to
Right
use.
here. Or wherever it is.
Somewhere. Oh, I see.
There it is up there, they moved it.
But years later, after this had all been highly developed, somebody got me to come over here to the guy that, oh, this has all changed. He should have stayed up on the other road.
You got a key, Bill?
No,
Or you just crash it?
Yeah, they put it up there.
I guess it's padlocked, isn't it?
Yeah. Here, take
Oh,
it.
you have to go back when we started together.
It's got a fence there too, but it can get closer.
But you know what they dug them fish ponds over here?
No.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
where-
that Bobby Becker guy, or do you recall his name?
For fishing for pay, right next.
Right, right,
Yeah.
Well,
right.
the
Right.
waves were washing down at that lake, and there was Cahokia trash pits there, but they were full of seashells. What the hell do you call those?
Go down here.
Those Olivella ones?
Well, this is just the parking lot. You can go out by 84 Lumber and get back a little closer.
Well, did they cut that road off along the lake?
They had a fence around it. Across it.
There used to be a road all around the lake. Then.
Do you think it'd be closer over there by 84 Lumber?
Yeah, if you're going by that Frito-Lay, that's about as far as you can get.
Okay.
What about sites on the island out there?
Well, there should be a lot of trash pits out there. If you could go by what was washing out of the edges.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just a bank of sand.
Uh-huh.
And the wind and that was just chewing it up. But he may still have the shells, because I just looked to see what he was getting.
Who is this? Who would have
The
been?
guy that owns the fishing place.
Oh, Becker?
I know him. I know him.
Ask him if he still got them. At least you can identify them. Same things that we found at the shield site with burials. But these were in good condition, and they were in a trash pit, and that's what I couldn't understand. So it looked like they would have purposely thrown them away.
Yeah.
About 56.
About 56.
55.
55.
I think we went to Tulsa in 56, but I started working in 55. See, the road used to come all along the bottom of it. Yeah, there's a place there. Now the other place is up probably where that trailer is, up in that area.
Well, let's just pull over here. Is this another mound here or just the shore? Just,
That's it.
this is the mound here. Did anyone do much digging in the mound there?
Nobody that I know.
This might
Get
Greg.
out. You want to get out, or anything else we can? You can point out where that for them the car behind us where that little woodland was.
And then when you went up further where it's kind of high,
Right.
it's kind of a high bank, and people were taking dirt all the time, and they were running into burials. And they were between there and the track, and probably some under the track. There was a cemetery there. And then the village site was across the track from there, and now they put that highway across it.
That's the also Hopewell, or
No,
that's the Mississippi, I know.
Right. And
That's the material that's at
That's
Gilcrease.
the-
And there should be boxes of potsherds at the Gilcrease Museum marked the Reese site. That we dug before the road, while they were getting ready to build the road, you know.
I-
I wonder if that's where those holes
About 35 acres.
the seed that these guys brought in.
That could be.
You talking about along here, Greg?
Yeah.
Across the new highway?
Where's the track at?
Here's the
We'll
river.
Here's the
drive
track.
by it.
Okay, well, where it gets closest to the track is
See, right now,
Here's the railroad.
we're right here right now.
Horseshoe Lake
yeah,
Mountain.
okay.
And
There's that ridge.
there's that ridge, right? That's a wrap. Not wrap, but
Reese?
Yeah, he was saying.
No,
Reese.
that's not Reese,
That's-
because it's very close to the road and the track, and I would guess this would be.
Well, this is a track coming right here, and it crosses.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Here's the track and the road.
Okay, I had it wrong.
There's
I
a
thought
pond
this is
there.
a highway? This is a highway.
Yeah, we have two of them there. They're coming together here and here.
That, you know where that house Reese site was?
Right there is right, you're right.
Well, I mean, I know about it. I don't
And,
know
and
where it is.
the village site was up in here,
It was up.
Village site was up here.
across the track.
Do you have a copy of that?
Probably.
Well, I'm probably too far up, but
There's a nice ridge
it was just
running.
across the track here.
How do you spell that?
R-E-I-S-E, I think. Reese?
Is that the same?
Or
That's not
you-
the same one as the with the filed teeth, is it?
No,
Okay.
that's he's a druggist in East St. Louis.
Okay.
You just have to remember the pronunciation, but I don't think spelling is right.
Okay. And then where the ponds were was the
Where
middle
the
wood.
ponds are now is where the middle woodland site was, because I found the stem of a Hopewell pipe there, and I found a big coin and a half of a gun flask. That was a cabin there too.
And the island spot you were talking about where the
Yeah,
stuff is
the
rooting?
end of the island.
To the very end of the island.
Mine is still washing in.
We'll hit on up. We'll swing by that site, the Mississippian one. Okay. And maybe you'll recognize it.
Yeah, that I would.
I guess they did take out the road there, huh?
Yeah, they sure did. Take out the bridge too. I don't know. Did you name the go-kart point?
No, I don't think so, Tom.
Well, I did.
He was, Greg was asking about the new point types from 270.
I need them for volume 2. And I read your report, and since I don't think you put a name to it, so I just went ahead and named it go-kart.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it is. It's an earlier version of the Etley point, only it's got corner notches.
Okay.
And when we found Etley trash pits, we also found clay-tempered potsherds with them. So, but in your case, I found no place where there's mention of potsherds with those points. So I figured that they just precede Etley.
Uh-huh.
Which is great because it kind of dates our pottery too. We're finding with a straight stem Etleys, you know.
Uh-huh.
And you're talking about the clay-tempered pottery coming from St. Charles?
Yeah, right. There was a whole bunch of trash pits up there, and they had waddler points in some of them. Not big ones, but they had waddler points and clay-tempered potsherds too. And then we found one pit at the Snyder site when we excavated that had them also.
Huh.
And then another fellow told me he dug some pits in St. Charles County that had some Etleys and of course there was the Etley Cemetery up there at St. Charles. Terrington had the collection for a good while.
But, I mean, it wasn't, the clay-tempered pottery was just amorphous type of pottery, or?
No, it was definitely early woodland, about 2000 BC. It had, I remember it was thin. That's the thing that fools us. You always expect to find thick pottery, you know, in early woodland. But it wasn't no thicker than that. And it had plain stick, I call it plain stick notches on the rim.
On the rim.
Not wrapped with a string or anything.
Is that stuff at Gilcrease now? Any of that pottery?
Yeah, the stuff should be with the Snyder stuff. But I'm not sure what the hell they did with it since I left there because they were enthralled with 20 or 30 boxes of potsherds. I had apple crates, wooden apple crates, full of them.
Where was that site that Brad was talking about over in Missouri where you had the wadlows and the clay-tempered pottery?
Oh, that was, damn, I wrote that up. So.
It's the one published in the Central States Journal.
Yeah, what's the name of the farmer that owned that?
Here's where you go down to the fish ponds right here.
Right there. But that's different from the Elm Point.
Yeah,
right.
One point is different, yeah. Probably where that ridge extends over.
And Bob said we could pull over on the shore, right? Seriously.
It'd be better if I got across the track and looked. But I would say this is a high spot. The village extended into here. It might have been up there. Somebody could check their field out there. Somewhere around one of those two telephone poles up there. Mississippi Cemetery was on this side of the track. It projected out a little bit. It's a high spot, you know, towards the road, and they were taking truckloads of dirt out of it.
That the pond you were talking about over there?
Yeah, that's where the Hopewell spot is.
Okay.
And since that high ground comes across right there, so it's probably up there,
Okay.
where that elm tree is.
Okay. So Hopewell site was down here with the pond,
Right there.
and then this is maybe 300 yards west of Big Mississippi.
Yeah.
How about this area back in here? Anything?
I never went on it.
Okay.
I would think there was stuff on there, though.
Snakes will get you every time.
So the re-site was where the railroad or right
I think
where
about
the
where
road?
that new telephone pole is in that area.
Was that mostly village material or
Yeah, that
burials?
was all village. The burials were
On the
between the
s-
track and the road.
Okay.
So they kind of projected out a high ridge. You see a high ridge projecting up?
This thing
That
here.
could be it, could be declining there. Yeah, that would be it.
So the burials between the track and the lake,
Between the road.
and the
Where's the road down here?
here the road is red right there.
Not the new one.
Oh, the old one. The old one is right here on the,
Yeah, okay,
the lake.
between that and
The railroad
the railroad, right.
are the burials.
That's what they were, but they were taking the dirt out to haul away, you know. Individuals were doing it, coming in for trailer loads of it. And the village area was just right across the top. What is now mostly highway right away, I guess. Some distance, like over the road or tracks, whatever that is over there. Up on the top of a hill in a garden garden. A small cemetery at peak. A big rabbit park.
Yeah, there's a Reese drugstore.
Yeah, now
Is
that's
that
the way
that?
to spell it. R-E-E-S-E.
You get the brand?
That's
What was that again?
Like you'd spell Reese's.
Like a candy bar.
Candy
Okay.
bar, yeah. He may still own that, I guess. Sure, he did pretty well buying, selling the highway land.
Yeah, we did work here when they changed the interchange. There was a Mississippian house.
Well, that one where the village is, I guess, over there.
Yeah, this is just an isolated area.
Somebody needs to go to Gilcrease and actually see all of the lots of the punctures. They're all from Illinois. The Snyder side, Hopewell, and Cahokia, just noted the Cahokia Pottery. And this site, nothing with it.
I know Farnsworth. I think Farnsworth has been down there.
There was some painted Hopewell pottery. I photographed some. I'm pretty sure that I didn't photograph all of them.
Yeah.
Fairly coarse flaking on it. It's been brown. Or it could be the flint knap was just lazy and didn't want to finish it off. Boy, they're moving a lot of dirt there, ain't they?
Big sand operation.
That's part of the old lake, isn't it?
Maybe. Yeah, it's down there low. Oh, it's a junkyard. I didn't see
God
that.
almighty. Look at that. See this sloping terrace, talus area? There are individual house sites on some of these things. These alluvial fans. That's it. Up on top.
Up on the left there?
I'll be on the right, on top of the hill.
Okay. Yeah, there's a house up there.
But there were none of these down here then.
Yeah, there's a road there.
Yeah.
I need to wait. I didn't realize I'd lost them.
God almighty. Everything's built down here now.
It's worse. Closer you get to Collins.
I'm just going to pull over to. I didn't realize I had lost them.
think this whole area's been stripped of some of the top of the bluffs.
Or even at the Coster side, when we dug up there, we found a Mississippian house just cut into the side of the slope of the hill, not at the top, but near the bottom.
Is that reported anywhere? Did you write about that, or?
I think I mentioned it in the Coster report. I should have.
On the Coster burial mounds?
Uh-huh. Because all along there, I have noted the individual houses that kind of imposed on the sides of the hills. And I know they occur here further south, so I'm sure they belong there here too. That way they could form the talus, which is darn good ground, and
Yeah,
still be out of water.
That Nocta site is, you can see the farm out there.
Yeah.
It's south of there. Well, it was out in front of the farm and then back along, go back toward McDonald Lake, toward the woods down there. And there's a middle woodland site that they didn't take that's still left.
Feck dug around the lake, but on that side,
On the south side?
and got the Mississippian sides. You know about them?
I didn't realize, I knew that he had been around there, but
He didn't get to the Nocta side. He didn't
Yeah,
go
this
that
is-
far around.
yeah, there wasn't much on the surface there at Nocta.
Oh, that's right. There probably wouldn't be enough to attract him.
Well, I don't know where I lost those guys at.
But you didn't go that fast. Well, they know we're coming up here, don't they?
Bottom down there.
He was digging trash pits. That'd be a good site area for buried sites right in there.
That they were cutting into a mound. Larry, you know which one I'm talking about?
What's that?
This borrow pit up here on the left.
Is that one where that one guy got a whole bunch of red ochre?
I don't know. Norma Evans. It's right up there.
Oh, that one? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where there's supposedly burials. You know, it was prior to that law.
I was wondering if that's the site that Greg was talking about.
The Feck was right out in there.
And Nocta was out across there where they got that pit.
And this used to be a vineyard. They told me that they ran into burials in a post
Just on the slope here.
on a slope. Yeah.
You want to let me out here and I'll direct them up that way if they do show up?
Sugarloaf.
See if
Or
anyone-
coming back this way?
Well, I think they'll know that we're coming to Sugarloaf, and Bob should know that we're up here.
Okay.
There are probably burials all stuck on all the areas of the side here because
Yeah.
right up here on this terrace here, one time I saw a skull sticking out of the bank over here,
Uh-huh.
and then there's an extension of a flat on this side,
Yeah, we found some burials when they were building these houses.
and there were burials, right.
CAS did.
This is heavily occupied, this area.
They're supposed to develop this up here. This is where the Costin Hayes site was.
Yeah, right. That's it.
I do.
This road probably
God, I hate to
intersects
see
too much.
all this, but there's nothing here then.
I can't hear
But-
what he's saying.
Right about in there,
But
there was the foundation of, no, there it is right there, the foundation of a mound.
That's where you were talking about the
Uh-huh.
little one getting started.
Right. And I'll tell you what, if you could ever get a piece of this too, it's got the most beautiful house patterns. Some of them even had gravel scattered on the house floors.
Okay, now is this where you were excavating here, or was it back
Yeah,
over toward?
well, I dug some in here. I never messed over here.
Okay, this is where you had some human bones and the old village, the Ramian
Yeah,
side.
you got Ramian side, but you got a lot of this orange and yellow pottery
Okay.
with the nicely notched rims and all that.
Uh-huh.
This is a hell of a nice vetted site. And you need to know a lot more about it.
Yeah, now that's Fox over there.
Yeah, anybody dug around that?
Yeah, that's Fox. I don't know if anybody dug into it.
That's what's labeled on the
But there
topo
was
map.
one of
Fox
those
Mounds.
up there,
Fox Hill or whatever.
Hill.
Yeah.
Larry,
Ah,
there was one of those pointed mounds up there on Collinsville Hill. Remember where they got that bauxite head out of the bottom?
That subdivision, more subdivision?
Morris subdivision.
Okay.
And also up there on the Morris Hills, there is also the beginning of a platform mound, about 3 feet high.
They're putting in a golf course over here on the left, by the way.
And there was another mound they removed when they built Morris subdivision.
Is that what this is gonna be?
Golf course.
Another one?
This?
I guess I better take up golf.
the two in Fairview fell through.
Oh, they did. So they decided to come up here.
Well, I'll tell you, for really beautiful stuff, I think this is worth digging. A few house pits.
Well, let's go down here and,
See the high spot over there?
Yeah.
The edge. That was the rim of the beginning of the mound.
how far along are they as far as you know?
It's supposed to open in July or August or something.
Oh.
Anybody
Sorry,
checking these fields?
Well, we were going to try, and one of the school teachers in Dupo knows daughter's dad that was going to develop this.
Oh, that'd be good.
And he said that if we find to come out there, but it would sound like it was going to go into houses.
Well, he changed his mind.
Oh, he changed
From
his mind.
subdivisions to the golf course.
Well, those first houses up there on top of the hill,
Uh-huh.
those storage pits were practically rim to rim. There were so many. Everything's in perfect preservation.
Let's turn around.
This is the edge of it here.
I don't know how far
Maybe
it
they're
came
not going
this
to do
way.
much with landscaping it.
Oh, this
They've done a little
edge of the
bit.
golf course, huh?
Well, when they start the greens, though, they usually go 3 feet deep, and they get, they get tore out 3 feet deep and get a lot of different types of gravels and peat moss and things like that.
The old guy that owned it, huh?
Is that Hayes or Costa?
I think it was Costa. Costa. That's the new house, I didn't know. The old farmhouse, I believe it was at the end. A lot of dirt there. Cleaning it up.
Yeah. Norman is back here. Yeah, that's the one that I guess Norman knows. But most of your excavations were out around the...
It was this side of the road.
Okay, and then around that little mound?
Yeah, right up on the crest. Maybe something to see house goes behind us that have been paved back. Or it look like that.
We'll wait here for them for a few minutes.
I didn't find much on this side. Seemed like the one getting it started with the road and went over to about a hook.
Greg, did you do anything over near that that one pole that's standing by itself way out there? Did you ever go that far out?
Over there?
Yeah.
No, this had most of the stuff where
Most of
that's
it right on
turned
the
yellow right there.
Okay.
Yeah. But those houses up there, when they started putting the foundations in, I never saw them after that, but they went just solid refuge pits.
Where the houses went in.
Right. But where I did most of my digging was right on the downslope from the crest, and we were getting bone hairpins and all that kind of stuff.
Well, if you look straight ahead, see where that car is parked in that driveway, see how it rises up and then it almost looks like a mound.
There's no mounds.
There's no mounds.
I saw that one and
The other one.
I think that dark spot right there.
Uh-huh.
I found a notched hole on that one.
Tracks there at,
Yeah, that's a natural remnant, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we were wondering, if that's what that
That's what I
was.
understood it to be.
Yeah, there were kids that apparently dug into it and you couldn't
Yeah, they've
never
been
see.
digging into it for years.
And then there's another one that was right along the highway that someone built a house into.
The house on top is right on top of the site. A lot of burials.
Did you ever know Ben Westhouse?
I knew of them.
Knew of him, but you, when we worked on a small site there, it was on a slope that was up 161 there, you know, up from where the IDOT building was, and it was a small Mississippian farmstead, the Lab Woofy site. And I believe it was him that came out to the site with a whole thing of beads
Yeah,
showing
he should
it.
have a lot of stuff, but he did a lot of digging up in here. He was a little older than I was.
Did you, when Troop was around?
Yeah, Dan Troop. I knew him pretty well.
Did you, his dad?
The old man I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There was a cache of turkey tails found on the bluff when they were excavating it for dirt. You know where French Village Road comes out? The bluff on this corner.
Okay, but at French Village.
At French Village.
Is that a separate? Okay.
They got
Need to get
scattered
out.
and I don't know
Okay.
who had them.
Is
I know that there was a cache of them found there.
but that's not the cache you write about that you dug
No,
up
the
east of
one I dug-
Cahokia.
The ones that I dug is on Morris Hills.
Okay.
There were 3 of them.
And they were with the cache of red ochre,
Yeah, 52, I think 52 points.
and one of them was a big green one. I remember we talked
Yeah,
before.
I think that might have been a Morris knife.
Okay.
Phil.
Was it an actual
And
mound?
it's still a gill crease, that potsherd, if they didn't throw it out, because they get people there that are incompetent just because they're politically oriented, you know. And,
What was the mound? Was it an actual low mound?
Yeah, it was. Looked like a foot or so high topsoil gathering. It wasn't deep. It had flattened out a lot, in other words. But it wasn't big either. It wasn't any more than from here to across the road. To Mississippian. Burials have very little with them as a rule. Even though the Mississippian, some of them have very little. And I think even at the Shield site, only every other burial had any pottery.
So you had mentioned this other turkey tail cache from French Village then?
Yeah, that was a,
Do you know where that's at now?
no, I haven't any idea. I have a hunch it's scattered all over. I've got one that I got Art Nurse's collection from St. Clair County,
Uh-huh.
and there is a single turkey tail in it, but no record on it. A newspaper man who used to go around the country selling papers to the farmers gathered the collection, and he might have even had one of them because I haven't any idea where else he'd have gotten it in those days,
Uh-huh.
because it was so long ago.
How many turkey tails were in that French Village cache? 7?
I don't remember anymore.
I remember seeing at a show down there at the Elton Fire Department one time, 7 big turkey tails. The guy said he wanted to keep them all together.
Where was this?
Down at French Village, at the fire department, he used to hold relic shows down there.
Oh.
Well, maybe
Quite a
that
while.
is it then. I can show you where they found them anyway.
Is this the same cache that you had
Yeah.
found? Okay.
No, not the one I had found. Mine was at Morris Hills. I'll show you that on the way in.
Okay, so that was at Morris Hills.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I'll show you where the mounds were.
Excavation of the mounds that you were aware of.
No, I know they took a lot of dirt off over here.
There was a cemetery that we knew about up here, and we were trying to do something, but whatever happened, anyways, he took it out before anything could be done.
Bluff, high bluff, that
Yeah.
extended way out.
Yeah, it went all the way down.
And he
to-
had to run across a lot of burials on the crest of it.
Well, I know Munson reported, mounds along here
Right.
and from his survey.
This bluff is all gone now, Greg.
Yeah, I see it is.
Greg, I thought you had mentioned to me about where that Drury Inn is up there, that you had seen one of the lower terraces or something on that
Yeah, right.
hill that had some charnel structures.
Yeah, right where it flattens out on that side of the highway. There was one or two Mississippian farmsteads, I guess. I remember a pit full of potsherds.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
But on the,
But it was on that side of the road. It kind of flattened out at that spot.
they took that out for all. They did some work up there. There's a small mound, I guess, up there. Did you work on it? Or did you work on that one or not?
I believe there was a tiny one.
Who talked to?
Yeah, Brad.
No.
I guess it was Tim that said he worked on it. For Carbondale. Well, it was right over there.
Any of these bluffs that are disturbed ought to be checked.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about, John. Yeah.
Yeah, this flattened out from the top of the hill, you know, just like that, and then you had the road bank. Of course, that's all going now.
Yeah. Now it's really flattened out.
You know.
The figurine sites were down here. The one that Tom worked on, the BB Motors.
Oh yeah. That's another thing about those figurines. They almost had to be associated with a charnel structure. And in the Yoakum site report, I'll show you exactly what they would have looked like, because I have since recognized things that I saw years ago as charnel structures down on the Highway 13 area. At that time, I didn't know what they were, cremation, stuff like that on top of a ridge, but identical to what was in the mounds up here at Yoakum. I never got up into the top of these bluffs. But these bluffs have got to be notorious for having cemeteries on the tops of most of them. So not like that. They usually have a surveyors on it. But yeah, these would be great spots to form. You never have to worry about floods. Mars Hills kind of projects out
Okay, is this
from
it
the
here?
bluff. No, it's across the highway.
Okay. It's over here?
No, I mean on the other side of that
40.
Collinsville Road, whatever you call it, 40, yeah.
Okay.
But it begins practically right there. Roy Hughes dug up a spade in one of the trash pits, house that patterns up on top. Took that with him.
When did he move out to Massachusetts?
When did he what?
When did he move? You said he moved to Massachusetts?
Yeah, oh God, almost.
50s?
It must have been in the 50s, 55, something like that. See, now that road goes up to the top of the,
This is the road that goes up to it?
yeah, but I can show you across here.
Okay, should we?
You want to go up it?
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be easier to show you where some of the mounds were.
We just turn right here?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Some old report mentioned some mass burials somewhere associated with this area. Are you familiar?
No, but there's plenty of them down further,
Yeah,
below right 13. I can show you them. I remember when they put this road in, they cut through a trash pit up here that had several shell beads in it, right up on top. The Morris, this part here, this thing here was a temple mound, beginning of it, I guess. They got the house stuck on it. And over here was a big conical mound that they took down, had that head in it. And you go down here and I'll show you where the other mound was. But somebody dug the hell out of it. It was tall, but it wasn't very broad. There's kind of a saddle in the... Yeah, it would have been about here.
Okay.
What the hell is that? Put the trash
Trash,
out.
yeah. And the red ochre was,
I can show you that from the bottom there,
okay.
because it was the next knoll. And the field behind it, I found a drilled plummet and archaic points. It was quite a bit of early stuff there.
Okay. I'm not sure if it was a good place to...
Of course, this had all kinds of archaic Mississippian stuff. When they dug a ditch for the water lines and that, in one spot I saw a skeleton up here on a flat in the profile.
Uh-huh. You know how to get down out of here, Bill?
Turn around here.
I don't know if that. Sure, I've never been up in this particular neck.
It didn't say dead end, but...
I just back up.
Okay, we just...
On the middle of the head. I never saw one like that.
Where was that conical?
Moore still has it.
The big, it was right across where...
Across the road from
Okay.
the mound. It was on the point, in that farthest point.
That's a 13 here.
Okay, this is where he said the platform mound.
Now that's the platform mound.
Okay,
And
conical.
the other is in here somewhere.
It was right in
What's
here
the,
somewhere.
is the house number on that 20?
But this is 17, I
30.
think.
30.
Okay.
Oh, so they're across one another.
They numbered it differently.
Okay.
The 30 West Crown.
There's still a lot of storage and other pits there and things under those houses. This was a heavily occupied area
I
too.
referenced the Mounds.
Was there anything done on the other side there in that other subdivision that you were aware of?
I can see anything.
Okay.
I know Oscar Snyder had mentioned a mound up on the upper left
Yeah,
up there at one time.
I think he did work that.
Who's the guy that has that bauxite head?
Mars, they subdivided.
That was one you were talking about last night, Tommy, they're tracking it down.
I believe there's a photograph of it in one of the journals
Whatever
or
it's the
something.
same Morrises that built their buildings and architects.
I know he kept it in the bank vault.
I think it's all the same
It's
thing.
neat. And you know, a funny thing, I think they had one of the pottery pieces looked like it was almost Hopewell. Or the pottery pieces, only one of them.
Let's see, where would be a good place to pull off down here?
Right on that ridge there, just above the road there, there was a little flat spot and there were 6 burials on it.
Okay.
Uh,
Let's see, we can...
somewhere in here, you should see a point of land sticking out. Man, everything's full of trees now.
Yeah.
On your topo map, you can recognize it. The next point of land sticking out,
I wonder if this is it down here.
I don't think it was this far down. No, it was not too far from where we were. But
We will pull off down here and then they can... So let's back that away.
that was all bare then. You could see everything.
Let's see, we'll... We came up the street, this is the street we came up.
The mound area.
Yeah, I think that's who it now.
A dip like this, and then there was one there. So that be the next one. That would be one of the big ones. But I don't remember. I know there's a road there.
So you got a lot of this has been added in there.
Right here. It was small. This is the smallest one. Where the valley's in.
So it's like the conical one.
Right.
And then what was the third one?
A good village, pretty good sized village site. It's a terrace, but it's not on top of the bluff.
That's Buster Wharton, is it?
Yeah, Buster Wharton, that's it.
You don't know who dug on this portion that's
No,
above the concrete?
no, I just remember them telling me what they found.
Okay. Put this too, that's the village.
Although there were some burials scattered on top, but this was on the side.
Yeah. Huh.
Terraces on the sides of these bluffs are usually productive.
Okay, we'll swing up in at the campfire. We're going to go up the bluffs there at Caseyville. When we go into town, we'll make a left-hand turn.
Take your road.
Does Bob know where I'm going up that? It was there back before.
It's old. It was already like that when I first came in here.
Uh-huh.
See Buster Workman's place there?
Yeah.
That's the site. Where I noticed it was along, where's the road that goes alongside of it?
That way? Yeah.
Yeah. When they put the ditch in over the highway, you can see the crash pits.
Oh, okay.
Go by. And that's an ideal spot for a village, right above a creek.
Greg, you know anything about this mound at the cemetery on the left?
No,
I think the
I don't.
flagpole sticking out of the center of it.
I never went up there.
Did you ever hear about, you can see it now, the Cannonball Hill?
I don't know about that one either.
Yeah, there was a trench that was put through it.
I don't know who that, that could have been these other guys.
You know, the same ones that were up over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to take this out for borrow, but I'm not sure what exactly. I assume they U of I tested it, but didn't come up with that.
And SIU tested. SIU Carbondale, I think.
Was it Carbondale?
Yeah, it was some kind of weird.
No, that was the one. I think that was the one up on the interstate where the Bob Evans
was. It?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I think because Jill Foster tested this
Okay.
one.
We're going up the hill.
Yeah, we're going to swing up to.
You know, there's something peculiar there. For years, they were hauling truckloads of dirt off the end of that that ridge. And one time, I can't remember who the hell's got it now, but somebody came up with what looked like a walnut celt.
Oh, yeah.
It's real.
Russell Fisher.
Fisher had it, right.
Russell
I think
Fisher.
Harrington has it now.
Who has it? Harrington?
Harrington.
Well, Pete Bostrom got it.
Well,
Pete Bostrom got it from.
That's
Fisher.
right, I think Pete did.
If you look up to the left, you see that mound,
It's
there's
got
a
about 10
cross section
hands.
through at the top of the
But
hill.
anyway, there was
This one over here?
Yeah.
there were burials along this ridge anyway. There's a hog back. And a natural.
That's the one where the file teeth came from.
Was that where the file teeth
Yeah,
came?
Vernon White and supposedly found.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Get that, Brad?
yeah.
Okay.
Horse Mound?
Yeah.
Run out of
Probably have to fit
Now
it together.
this fence coming up ahead, this fence, is this a mound, do you know, or have you ever seen it?
Where's that?
See right straight
Right
ahead.
ahead here.
They got the White House
No,
on
that's
top.
where the remnants of the bluff. They just notched into the side of the bluff here.
File teeth.
That's just a remnant of the bluff. People notched it. But somebody dug a cemetery on a point up here. I remember the scattered bones. At least there's one or more burials, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the best place to be, the driveway after this is kind of a public driveway, you can probably see most of it.
Turn left or right?
Just turn right, yeah, right where it says Barkley. On the end of this little point, do you know anything about that, or?
Not unless they were already gone.
Okay.
because they kept taking the end of that hill off.
All right.
They took
Remember
it off.
anything about in here?
This is all village side.
This is village side here, right.
Discoil, Muhammad, Turkey Tail Point, and where that point sticks out.
Yeah, that's the top out here.
There's.
Okay. You had mentioned one another time about having burials over on the other side. Was there anything over there?
There is a village up there.
Okay.
Maybe I can point it out
On the
from
way
the
out.
back side, and that's
Okay.
where the spider gorget come from on the bluff.
Oh, okay.
Somebody found one there.
All right.
But the burials are on the edge of the bluff, and the village is behind it.
Okay. Did you come up with any? Did you notice any midden areas? Maybe. There was one that I had
Well,
noticed.
that was all midden.
Okay, that was all midden over there.
When it was plowed, you know, you can tell there were several houses, maybe more than several. But I figured the house long, you know.
Okay. I think that's about.
Stay them in the base, and I put them on the side of Clod. I figured somebody got a heart attack.
That Maples Mills came out under that log cabin.
Okay, that one right
Yeah,
there,
right
the
there.
porch.
Yeah.
Maples Mills, I got a Maples Mills shirt down at the Booker T. Washington Cemetery.
Oh, yeah?
We'll drive in there because
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff there.
I think that's about all.
On the right side of the road,
Okay.
I was walking along that creek bed one time and I saw this layer of Cahokia pottery, you know,
Supposedly.
Somewhere.
and it proved to be a buried Cahokia.
Well, they're putting that firehouse in there. I saw where they were putting that firehouse in there.
Where's that?
On that Bunkum Road, that old village thing.
Oh, is that what that's going to be?
Yeah.
Oh.
French Village.
Man, that's. Oh.
Watch any excavation down there.
Okay, now those burials were out to the right here, Greg, off on that other point, or?
On the point,
And then the village site was this
Right
side?
on top there. See
Another-
a little rise over there? You gotta check that for a mound. Notice it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
before it goes into the woods.
But anyway, that's where a spider gorget was
Burials
found
down.
with burials.
That's where the spider gorget was
Kids were
found
digging
with
over.
burials. This,
Okay.
that one back there.
Playhouse down and they ran
The one he just showed us.
Have we gone past Bunkum Road?
No, we're still a little ways. We're about a half mile from Bunkum.
All right, yeah, quarter mile.
Yeah.
Sure, you know where that spot's at better than I am. Spider gorget you just pointed to.
Is that the one that Stevens had? That gorget?
Just past this.
That spider gorget.
I don't know. It was one of these other
We're off the
fellows that
map.
dug it.
You don't remember the name of the fellow that dug it, do you?
No, at the time there was several people digging.
When would that have been, would you have said?
I bet you it's this point here.
40s.
40s?
When he was pointing to, but that leads back.
This is Bunkum up here.
Yeah, this is wrong.
They're building back over here now.
The tops of these bluffs have got a lot of early stuff on them, but it's widely scattered.
They have meant this point out here. This is what he was pointing to.
Down the base of the hill.
Is this the old, should we take the old road? Is this the old road?
Either way,
I think the old road.
I've always wondered about some of the stuff on the top of the old one. Sites up in here. Greg, do you know where the McCain site is?
I assume it's the one on the side of the bluff down here, isn't it?
On the side of the bluff or down at the base?
Well, it's both. See, the cemetery's on the side of the bluff. This terrace area. Where's the road at? We're not down far enough.
No.
It's not very high up off the highway. There was a driveway went up into it, and there were skeletons then sticking out of the banks.
Old junkyard back in there.
Yeah, this is a creek that comes down, and that's it there, but it's not that high, I don't think. We got to get to the other side, where the cemetery was.
Where the cemetery, was it up?
There may have been buried on top, but the ones that I saw was, there should be a fire break in there.
There's an old
Right there it
bridge.
is. No, that's the bridge. Well, anyway, right up around where that house is, or behind it, it leveled out, terraced out. You can pull in over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can get out of here.
Yeah, you see, there's a driveway. Well,
Okay.
the banks of that driveway had skeletons in them, and that, I don't remember how many, but Ed Milker dug one of them. They got that pot with the cross handles this way.
Okay.
And Ray Fraser just got that pot.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
See?
Is this what they call the old village site then?
Yeah, this is the old village side area. There was a layer, I don't know how much it took off, but there's a layer of stuff about 3 feet deep. Potsherds and stuff.
Yeah. Do you hear anything about getting some pots out of here?
No,
Okay. There was a story going around I heard. Okay.
but the burials, there probably was some on top too, but these were on that terrace behind that house.
Okay. Did you have any idea how far the village site went back this way? Did you ever know anything about it? Uh-huh.
Nobody ever tested it.
Okay.
But I figured that we go back enough on the door roof.
Yeah, there was an electrician that put in these stoplights over here and found a Ramey knife there. And I was wondering if it might stretch out that
I think
far.
Eddie Milker found a little drill or something even on his place. That's that brick house.
Uh-huh. Okay.
This is all talus slope again, so the stuff's buried.
Okay, did you notice it coming up this way very far, or was it the whole length of the creek, or?
Well, I just noticed it in about that section from there to there.
Yeah, okay. That's what we had seen.
Uh-huh.
It didn't seem to go up this way very far at
No,
all.
huh?
Yeah, okay.
So that was the village.
Yes, it would be checked.
And we missed it when they put the church in.
Did they bring dirt in for that, you think?
Huh?
Did they bring much dirt in for that? I noticed a lot of the times.
No,
there's
that
some-
was just, the basement was just dug straight down. It is a basement.
Okay.
It was dug straight down. If they did it, I think they did.
If they went down more than 3 feet, they'd have hit it.
I don't know, I haven't seen it,
But this is along the creek where you saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And Eddie Milker lives in a brick house right there.
Who is that?
And he used to live, he's dead now.
What was his name?
Milker. And when he dug his septic tank, he did get a small drill. I helped him dig it. This was the first house, I think, down there. Second house. I don't know what's up in here because I never went up with any of this. But judging from the way others have been,
Yeah.
they had to run on the other stuff.
See, no one's really done any work on the bluffs per se. Really since your work.
Well, they were heavily occupied,
Yeah.
believe me. Cahokia is so damn big, you have to have a lot of people to make that, build that stuff.
We're going to be coming up to the area where you think the French village turkey tail cache came
Yeah.
from?
Yeah, it'd be the end of the hill that stuck out over the creek from this side. I think Troop told me about it. Never thought to ask him who had this stuff. That's why not, I would have changed hands 10 times.
Yeah. Now we go over there to the right.
Now, there's a report of a spade being found along in here somewhere on this talus. Well, the bluff stuck out way the hell out further than it is now. And it was out here somewhere. I guess it's even over. I think it was over here. They took off so much. Where are we going?
We're going to go down into French Village.
Oh, okay.
And then,
just on the other side, it would show you where the cemetery was that Tiddington got those plots and burials.
okay.
And the top of that hill, the very top, had burials on it.
Now that's, as I understand, was where Westhouse did a lot of his digging.
Yeah, right.
Got that 1904 one.
Turkey tails.
Village Turkey Tail cache at the end of that bluff that comes over. It's all been taken from Morrow now.
Does he know if this is a mound on the right or not?
I've always understood it to be a remnant, and I would think it is.
Kind of looks like it. There's a ridge on the other side.
Creek cutting.
Yeah, matches up elevation-wise with the other side. Now this is the other one that we looked at when they widened 161, but we never saw anything. See where the house sits on it?
Oh, that's a remnant there.
Yeah, that's what we thought
But
too.
they cut it off from more this way. Railroad track and the creek and other things.
Now, Larry, where was the state police used to do their shooting? Was it back over here?
Off the far right here. The bluff's been moved back.
Oh,
right.
oh, it's off over there.
Yeah. That whole bluff's been cut way back. They had a rifle range right here.
Wasn't there supposed to be a Jersey Bluff site on one of these hills?
Well, we took, they took bar out of here for 255, and then there was I think, a Mississippian house, and then some late woodland,
Yeah.
and then some strange, Warren Witry got them. There were trenches that he thought may have been platforms for burials for Trump. This was I thought there was another little mound in here.
I don't know about this one.
You didn't do
Past
it.
the house.
Is it just up here?
I thought it was just past this house, just on the other side of it where that fence is. Oh, right behind here where those two large
where the
trees are
trees
sticking
are?
out of it.
They look
It's
like
just a
they
remnant
had,
of it, though.
They had dirt taken away from around them.
Yeah.
They just didn't take the trees out.
Yeah, man, they
Yeah.
man, I didn't know these guys were even in here. Gee. There's a profile to look at.
What the hell are these?
These are all little cottages.
Must have revamped them, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I didn't know this.
Look like Mississippian compound.
Let's let these guys in on what was happening.
What, did you abandon this thing?
Yeah, they moved up to their new headquarters.
Oh.
And they put it up for auction, and I thought someone bought it, or I forget who it was.
Brook lived up on top of the hill.
Troops?
Troops Brook.
Yeah, I've got it right. There it is there.
Yeah. I thought all the details you would get of that.
Yeah. His collection was apparently split up among his kids.
I heard that a lot of it was sold.
I know they
It
sold
sold?
some of it, yeah.
Didn't some of it go to Red Lake College?
Yeah, some of it ended up over at Red Lake.
Griggs.
Gilchrist's
The guy
got
there.
the historic stuff
Peters.
from the Kaskaskia site.
Center. They contacted
I believe
Center.
it
They wanted
back.
to talk about the museum and went over there, and that guy was, appeared after talking to him for a while. It's like, well, there were some really nice things that I just had to have. It's like it's like these odd shirts and broken up points. Several boxes of it with the guy like he bought stuff, so it was pretty hopeless.
You seen that stuff?
Yeah.
I never did go over and see it.
I don't know what they ever did with it. I haven't been in contact with them, but it was.
Well, supposedly they're putting it on display in a room in Red Lake somewhere, but I don't know if they ever did.
Actually, made a new mound up there. They got a house with a mound in it. They're just bushes. Sometimes bushes look like a mound.
That looks like a nice one there.
Yeah. That's
Huh?
got.
When they level that out.
That's part of the Bluff, but I think it extended way out to here.
Yeah, they must have used it for the fill for the cone here.
Yeah, the last time, but there was a lot of it missing when they first built the rest of it.
Greg, you remember the old Simon service down here in Edgemont?
The what?
Service station set up against the bluffs.
Yeah, yeah.
Was there anything in that bluff that you know of that?
I think I only remember somebody talking about one burial. But here, where these houses are in here is where the cemetery was, where this smoke comes down.
Now, which cemetery was that?
Well, it was a cemetery that some pottery came out of that Titterington got.
Okay, that was what Titterington.
That was this guy that you said.
West
And on
End.
top of here is where that big house up on the top, where there's some burials too. There's a huge house right on the very peak over the creek almost. That'd be the end house anyway.
Did you do much work in and around Belleville? I mean, itself?
No, well, yeah. I got to tell you about the Hopewell site.
Okay.
Remember the stem of a brown pipe that I found on that creek. I don't know if it's even got a name, but the highway goes right through there. And you know where Stolberg's Lake used to be?
Stolberg's Lake, no. Larry, you remember Stolberg's Lake?
Is that behind Augustine's restaurant?
No, Augustine's is not far from the
No, I don't.
Hopewell site. But, well, we can go up there and you can show me anyway. I can show you.
Okay.
But I'm sure that they're all gone because, what's the name, Richland Creek?
Right.
Yeah.
Where that highway goes down, you know where the water tower is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the highway belt line goes down through there.
Yeah.
Well, that put a big bluff over Richland Creek. And they removed an awful lot of refuse and storage pit. And I remember a nice disc coil coming from up there. But I never hunted it myself. The road goes over the end of Stolberg's Lake. It's dry. It's been filled in. Evidently they built Toronto structures on it because of small charred, a piece of charred human bone. Koldehoff, I showed him the site.
Uh-huh.
I think it's loaded with charred remains.
Did they do the same thing at Shield that way or not? Did they do any sculpting that you could tell there?
No, I've never seen any sculpted natural. No, this is the only one I know of.
Okay.
That was intentionally made into terraces, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a big site. It's a intense site. In other words, there's a lot of people in there, and it's all Negro cemetery now. And they even went so far as to bury on the railroad right away. But here's another thing I was thinking about. That railroad right away is going to preserve what's left of that village if anybody ever wants to dig it.
Oh, okay.
It's got about 20 feet of dirt on it, and gravel and ashes.
There was mention of you in one of the things of you finding some beads with a burial here where 157 and 460 was. Was that down here?
It's down here.
Okay.
I can show you that.
Okay.
Is this about the area of that cemetery?
Which cemetery?
Greg had mentioned to me about a place down here in Centerville, just this side of Mila's.
Did we go?
We're not quite down there yet.
No, it's what I
There it is.
thought.
Yeah, Our Lady of the Snows is up here.
Yeah, well, that's just one row of burials after the other. Nothing with them.
Nothing.
Is that where you used to You told me the story. You used to hop on the train at high school.
Yep.
And take it out to the Bluff and dig, and then hop the train back on and come back at the end of the day.
Sometimes I had to walk back 2 miles from the yard before I could get on. This had a Mississippian cemetery, and there's guys from the Edgemont. He got some duck image and other plots. And
I'm going to just make a little bit of a detour through here.
Now we're going to PT?
Hey, see that area right there next to the tracks?
Yeah.
There's 5 or 6 barrels, and one of them had filed teeth. Called it the Grindell skull.
Okay.
Right in that bare spot right there.
Right in here, in this low area.
Not down here, almost next to the track.
Oh, almost next to the
See
track.
the rise over there?
Yeah. So that's the Grindell skull.
Right. I think
Okay.
there was only several shell bead, and that was it.
Okay, but
this whole area here, from there on, is lake.
Okay.
And this whole area here really ought to be tested, because I remember mussel shells and things out in here, but no real habitation stuff. I think the stuff is deeper.
It's buried?
Earlier site.
Oh, it's an earlier site.
Because if we drive into the cemetery
we'll
on the
go
other
on
side, another thing I want to, if we get out further, I can show you the top of the hill. That's where the stuff is.
Should we go
We
over?
can't see it from here.
Okay.
Go straight out to, go straight out across the bottom
Okay.
on this road. Then we'll have to park out there or look red.
Okay.
In the V, over here where the bluff makes the V, there used to be a small mound that I used to find a few shells plowed out of, and remains of a burial. They used to all be plowed. It's all woods now.
Yeah.
But there's a V there, and the top of that hill, had a late woodland village with refuse pits full of material, and I think that it was all donated to Streever.
Okay.
Ray Barry dug it, in case you want to get information from him.
Okay. Let's see. We'll pull down in here and see if we can see it.
Yeah,
Can you see back in there yet? I think we'll be able to. We can stop at this liquor store up here.
Stop up here somewhere. There's a village. Plowed field right up there, and all the back of that was plowed. And that's where the mound was in the late woodland village site. Is there an old house right in through there on the side of the, next to the road? Yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
Well, his field had a lot of stuff in it.
Okay,
I don't remember what it was. Yeah, at the base of the bluff.
Okay.
And from that field, that'd be better if we could.
Yeah, written, but
Yeah, you said which side of the tracks was the Grindell on?
On this side.
On this side, so it was right up.
Highway side.
Let's see, let's bend this way.
It'd be nice if we had these things blowing up.
Okay, we're right over here looking back.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we're looking back toward it.
Okay, see this crotch in here? That's where the mound, that little mound was plowed out.
Okay.
And this is where the guy dug up the little cemetery with the duck effigy plot. There's kind of a ridge runs back this way, this way. And up in here one time, about that deep, I probed into a cremation. And what it was a site of a charnel structure on the ridge, right smack on top.
Okay.
It's never been plowed.
So it was in the.
So it would be between the little mound and where they got the plots up there on this other one. But there's that ridge comes around the back of it, or on top of it. Kind of circles around. And also up there.
We're totally lost.
See, that was where all the cemetery, all the burials were on. But there was, I picked up blue daxes up there and archaic stuff, and the cemetery was just at the crest of the ridge, and then the crest dropped down on this end and made a little terrace, and there was a couple of burials there.
Okay.
But nothing with them. burials when I was here. See that high spot over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just,
That must be that one there.
Yeah.
On the
It's
on the
real-
north
it's
side.
real prominent.
Is on the north side of 460.
Yeah, on the bluff.
Okay, yeah, but on the other side of the highway, north of where 460 was.
Yeah, yeah.
North
yeah.
of Lady of the Snows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's that one there.
For what it's worth, I don't know, but see that canal they dug through there?
Yeah.
I was walking along there one time, and I found a smith knife about that long.
Huh.
But this was lake, so somebody might have dumped it out of a boat.
Yeah. That's all the old lake bed. Well, let's go down into Booker T. Washington.
Built that, they got onto a nice Mississippian site, old village type site.
Okay, Cahokia Commonwealth School.
It's back down in there somewhere where you get almost down to the quarry, and then towards Cahokia, in that area.
Was it a high school or the grade school?
I don't remember anymore. All I know is a hell of a big school. And as I remember, they called it the Cahokia Commonwealth School at that time.
Hey, look on the map. There should be a location of a school on the map.
But at the same time, it was down towards, what do you call that, Cahokia Courthouse or something like that?
Okay. Yeah, there is I think there is a school back in there.
Well, wherever that school is, it's a big one, and that'll be it.
Okay.
This was my most interesting site.
And now, is that the same one that you call the green site?
Green,
And Booker T.
Green Cemetery is the owner of the site. Booker
Okay.
T. Washington, the owner of the cemetery. I saw one or two burials that they dug out when they were planting colored people in there. But they were isolated burials, I think, in the village because the hill was full of burials. Fairly good sized mound up there. More of a sugar loaf, elongated mound,
Uh-huh.
like a loaf of bread. And nobody watched the damn thing. I never had the time. And then there was a little one that I got a shell dipper out of in a humorous dagger.
Uh-huh.
But the guys up on the hill found a limestone pipe that long stem.
Huh.
9 inches, I think, and it's a gill crease.
Okay.
What the hell are we waiting for?
He's got a road.
During the WPA days when they were digging a ditch, well, we drive down there. There's a road goes down under the bluff,
Okay.
just opposite this road. They found 3 or 4 grooved axes, so I know there's archaic sites down there. And it's a terrace like this, and I got a knife that long, broken 3 pieces from it. Mostly archaic stuff. But what I'm getting at is that terrace is a talus slope of a thing in the bluff, you know, a washout.
Mm-hmm.
And I suspect that there's going to be some really early stuff there if you want to get deeper than archaic. Pipes in a village site. One of them was a human leg, about like that, and the pole was broken in the stem.
Uh-huh.
And I forget what the other was, part of a body. And then I dug a real low mound with 1 bundle burial in it, and he had, and this is at Gill Crease, he had a limestone pipe painted red that was made like a foot, had the toes and everything with the stem and the heel.
Gee.
But these body parts make you wonder if they weren't eating people too. These pipes are different from Mississippian. It's a combination Mississippian.
Is it with the
wood.
limestone tempered pottery?
Some of it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever get many vessels with the individuals?
Not here.
Not here.
But there were some damn nice potsherds, and there was Gill Crease. Got that one Oneota bowl over there. That's a Gill Crease too. I published that somewhere, I'm sure.
I know Yeah, I know you've, it's been mentioned several times. I didn't, I was trying to remember, I don't remember, seeing the...
And that archaeologist that now at the University of Chicago Center.
Oh, a hall?
Hall. I told him about a cemetery, a site down here at the end of the limestone,
Oh,
where that
Stoll
road
Quarry?
goes up the hill. Yes, Stoley's Quarry.
Yeah.
And he dug that site, and I think it's Oneota.
Well, didn't you have some,
He got some of the other stuff up there.
yeah.
Somebody is researching Oneota, and I thought they might want to know the extent of it. Now, that was sort of a little settlement, but this is only 3 burials, and whether there was any more on all of that stuff, you can't tell. It's so much high habitation there earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, and that Cahokia. Becht had 2 bottle heads, clay tempered, that had one serpent on the head, one had one on each side.
Now, where was that from at Cahokia, do you remember?
Ramey side, most of it, I'm sure.
Okay. See, now we can figure
See
out
the road on both sides, you turn left and then we go right.
Not this first one, not the stop sign up there.
Oh, right here.
This is it?
No, that's a private one. I guess it's the next one. Yeah, we're too far down. Right about in here where that thing is, they took dirt out of there.
He's got a...
Is the cemetery road still open?
I don't know.
Well, that was all private.
Well, they moved the
down
cemetery
around.
here. Huh. They're burying people right here now.
Right up.
Maybe they closed the rise. Looks like this the old burial. The old cemetery may be closed off.
There it is. Well, we can walk from here.
I don't know.
Oh, this is a hell of a nice village here, no kidding.
Where would be the best? Just go all the way to the end?
Yeah. The railroad track embankment, and that's where not where the end of this road is, where those 2 bridges. But on a railroad right away. And we used to find all kinds of potsherds on these mounds. But here's the bluff I want you need
Oh, that's
to go
where it
up.
flattens out like
Yeah,
that?
right. They cut a notch through there, and then they terraced that, and there's one spot up there that's just full of bone. Bones brought in, bundles brought in. See, they're using the right-of-way. This is about where I found those things, those 2 burials.
Uh-huh.
Here's the railroad I'm saying there should be sight under because
Underneath it?
on the other side is a creek. And the creek used to be 50 feet out further that way. And I found a spade that the guy piled up with some rocks that he plowed out. It was formed. And then the railroad dug the extension of the site out there this way. And that's where I got that shirt with the underground panther design on it.
Okay, now.
Just on the other side of the track.
Just on the other side of the track.
Remember the long nose god mask I got for years?
Yeah.
Right on that shelf right there.
That little low
That's a neat spot.
spot before it goes up, huh?
And then there were other burials all the way to the top.
We lost this is on the ridge above Booker T. Washington Cemetery.
Lost one of them.
It had to be coming up that hill.
I'll take this one back because I'll have it up anyhow.
I remember where we came up.
Grab this.
Now that was a long nosed god mask that came off of there? Shark. Okay.
Like the one that you
That was the one. Okay.
up here.
Both of them came off of there?
Well, they were with the skeleton. Had one of each ear.
What were they made out of?
Shell. Seashell. You know what's peculiar? The Indian never knew of the compass except on a long-nosed mask to make the eyes. Isn't that kind of odd?
Hmm.
They could have cut out the shell beads a lot faster than the way they made them. It's the only thing I've ever seen on Indian stuff that indicates the use of compass. You know, 2 points on a piece of flint.
I guess that is pretty.
The perfect circles
yeah,
and the dot in the middle.
Right.
Every damn one. Any of the others just carved in, you know, circles.
You said these depressions probably are from people working in here?
Well, I know they got down in the bone in here. And I probed and hit a lot of bone under here.
Oh, okay.
It's a mass thing, you know.
Is this like a long mound through here, or
Well, this is a terraced bluff.
just remnant of the hill?
And you get I think 3 or 4 steps.
Okay.
You go to the end of it and then back. But anyway, there's burials on that knoll. There's burials up the side a little bit. Then there's a big flat mound up there that I got the shell dipper out of, and the bone dagger. And then the big sugarloaf type mound is just a little bit beyond that, and they took that out, all out with for building levees. I should have put that in my pocket there.
Make it look.
Well, it was a little later in the year. Big mushrooms under that big elm there.
That's what I thought you was getting to. I come up this hillside. This is what a great structure is.
Oh, one of my front yards. There was more, so I was laying over more.
I found a little limestone disc oil in a little creek down here.
Oh, yeah?
That's the only thing I ever saw down there in Indian.
What did you say was on the other side of the railroad tracks? Was that creek?
That's really interesting. That's where I found the Dalton in the bottom of that creek bed.
Oh, okay.
And I would guess that there's a Dalton habitation area.
So that creek cut through the habitation area
Well,
while it meandered and probably
the creek was out further, about 50 feet further, and that was plowed. And then the railroad company took out this plowed field, this narrow strip of ground, and put the creek against the track. And that's when I found Dalton in the gravel. So they were down 8 feet or something like that.
You know of any other? Have you seen anything out in this area where there's a village that goes with this, or any suspicions about it?
Well, this is all village, all the way to the edge.
Okay.
And it runs to the road, and then from there on you got a little bit of scattered stuff until you get up further, across that next ditch, and then that archaic, but deeply buried
That's
stuff.
where they found that full grooved axe. Is that what you're talking about?
Several, 5 or 6, it seems to me. But it's right at the, right where one of these gullies come out of the bluffs, and all that dirt going down buried it.
And this is where you saw that groundhog hole going through the burial.
Right in here, yeah, on
right
this
up
hill.
on that little area. Just
walking and looking through those groundhogs, you can see them.
Anything else? You might hit on down, I guess. Oh, they're coming up. I see.
Well, I want him to see the steps.
The pack gone too.
There's a little piece.
Yeah, that does look.
See here.
Yeah, that's human there. I'm pretty sure. But that's
Here's smaller.
oh, that's cut bone there though. Yeah, that ball on the end of the dough. That sure looks human.
Talking about.
And the shell cup that I got and the bone dagger. And just a little beyond that little flat mound was this sugarloaf shaped mound, which nobody'd ever messed with.
And that was taken out when
That
they.
was taken out. Because you hit him, that's all you could see his bones. And then there were burials and charnel structures from here on, and it's terraced like this. Come on down there.
Okay.
Charnel structures probably will work.
Okay. Do you notice that all the way down all of them, or is it just in this one area? Or
These two.
these two?
They're still up there.
Yeah.
Lime drip. That's what makes these skeletons in perfect condition, because they're totally neutral. The lime in the ground, Yeah, see, here's a terrace here, and then you get there and you step down again. But evidence of charnel structure is in the destroyed bones. From here on down, it's always done right there. That there spot is. But I'm pretty sure that most of that surface stuff is from the strong structure. That's from the burial they were going to be right there. That is from there right there. Pretty sure these originally were pretty level. Good. This looks more like a little mound here.
Is there much with most of these burials?
Almost nothing except that one pipe I got down here. Some of the Mississippi didn't put much or anything with it. Railroad cut. Took the rest of it off.
I think that's just a little burial mound or eternal mound?
See where that tree is up there? There's a little mound about a foot high, and that's where I got those plants.
Did you ever get into this one?
I never did anything with the probe. It may be something deeper. That's on railroad property there.
Okay.
But there were burials up this ridge.
All the way up. I was curious to know about the terracing that went on.
Yeah, it's terraced, and I think each flat might have.
No, you did some of that survey for Bill along here.
Right.
Did you come down on here?
Yeah, this was thin, but there's little stuff here. Probably had too much slope.
But
It'd be down here.
it was just a drainage right down in here, you said, where they came up with the axes?
Yeah, right there. On the other side, there's a high terrace.
What kind of grooved axes?
Yeah, full grooves. But up on top here, there's some more burial, like on these knobs.
Uh-huh.
I think right there is in the middle of the hill. I found a big bunch of those bones, and up on top and a little bit to the left, you got another big charnel struck pit. What the hell is a new cemetery?
Yeah, it goes back up and then I think
This is
around.
new to me. I wonder if it's the same colored cemetery. See, but here's the place here that really was interesting and got the early stuff. This is a wash down from up in there, and this terrace here is high.
Uh-huh.
And that's where when they dug that ditch out, that's where they found the grooved axes scattered around. On top of that hill, there was at least one burial plowed up constantly. It might have been a charnel structure too, because it was all on the surface. But remember that place there if you want to check the deep stuff. And this is the road we used to go up.
That wouldn't be the house, John, where the newspaper article about the...
No, that was down a little bit further.
Okay.
And
Yeah, this
see,
dead
there was
ends
no
back
road.
here.
There was no road here. But right on the side of the hill here, I remember down here there was a kind of a high spot here. The road took it out, I guess, but there was one of those rings for a house, you know, a depression.
Okay.
And then back there, I'll show you when we go back. I found leg bones of a burial, and I never did dig it. I just filled it up and found the side of the hill near the bottom. So you could figure the same for this. This is all new to me. There's no roads here then. Somebody's opened this all up. But the possibilities here, like right here, would be great. It's over a lake, a high ridge, you know.
Let's see if I can
We'll
ask
go
him.
down there.
Yeah, I can ask him to return
right there.
And where this ridge terminates up here, there was a little cemetery up there. No pottery, there was nothing. But I'm pretty sure that they're Mississippian.
Plenty of room back there, Joe.
Okay.
You gotta remember, that was a hell of a big lake out there, and anything like this could be lived on. Found a notched hole on top. Plowed up. They used to plow all over the top. They also kept it clean. They never got all of this trash. Now it's just kind of a
Fingers that come out.
well, like that terrace right there, you know. It's right in
There's a house base.
in that area back there, but beyond those trees. But towards the bottom that I found that burial, which is still in there somewhere. This thing goes back up. It used to go up. I see they got it closed. It's private property now. It used to go around to the highway. So, you know, to make a big circle. This is the one I really like. This one got the big knife, about 9 inches long, and then the other people dug, WPA dug the axles in expanding that ditch.
It all happened after he was here.
It was here, yeah, it was here in the late 60s, I know.
And it's Stan's Lake or something like that.
Huh. This is probably pretty low. The lake might have come up in here.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of stuff here, not so much, but when you cross the road where it all starts. I'm surprised that that point over there had not been built on, all those terraces and stuff. And they probably keep running into stuff here as they keep getting dirt.
Yeah, I think with the problems they have down there now, there's not going to be quite as much development along this section as fast.
Right here.
That used to be on top.
Right there. This place over here. Is that where you were talking about?
You were talking about digging someplace? No.
Milas Steakhouse?
No, I thought that I think the ridge that Greg was talking about actually is the Booker T.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought it was here along these tracks.
No, it's across the creek. Well, when they built this up here, they took out a bluff that had, I remember at the base of it, kind of flat, and then you got trees. And right near the trees, I must have got a pint of marginella shells. Evidently they plowed up a burial. And I didn't see no bones there. Anyway, there was some kind of a Indian, might have been a piece of clothing with the stuff sewed on it, lost there.
That was right over here.
Right here.
Yeah.
It was the lowest part of the bluff. Get some morels out of these hills.
Don't tell Larry that.
Uh-oh.
There used to be a water tower. I wonder what happened to it.
Just keep straight or going?
Go straight ahead.
Okay.
Things have changed so grossly.
There's
Well, it was right here. They bulldozed everything off, but there was a big site right there over this creek.
What kind of material?
This Silver Creek,
This is Richland Creek.
This is Richland here.
Richland, that's what I mean.
Well, what kind of material off that site?
The only thing I saw real nice was a disc coin. The rest I wasn't sure of. George Stolberg, the people that owned the farm, might be able to tell you. They turn around wherever they can.
Okay.
Looked more like a granite late woodland type, but it wasn't very real thick. Sort of intermediate. I like those dug at Mounds 72, about that shape.
You know if anyone did anything on that, Tom?
No, I don't.
The pipe came from?
Yeah.
On that bridge.
It was
that's where
a
it's
small
from.
one. A couple of houses. Here's that pop of cross handles.
That's that one that Ray's got, right?
Yeah, right. These are in gilt style. That. There's a little bit of gold in it.
What I did, I
I
left
think that
my,
real fine gold is there.
left my coat at the shrine.
Okay, whose day was it to watch him?
What was interesting, and I think you've read that, was the woodland people in trying to make pottery like Mississippians, but were used to cord marking. They cord marked their pots and then they rubbed them smooth, but it looked like an orange peel.
Yeah.
Really unusual. We found one of those pots at the Shields at the Yoakum site too with the burial.
Did you have any idea when you started in on that
No, we
you were-
happened to hit it lucky, and we were going in a true sequence of the period, you know.
Uh-huh.
The further down the hill we got, the later
There
it
you
got.
go.
It dates between 10 and 1200.
Was there a charnel structure further down the hill?
Oh, there was a place in between the later part and the earlier part that kind of flattened out, and it was surface though, but we found a burnt fragment of a broken pipe and other items that indicated there had been a burned structure there. Because we got a lot of bundle burials too that would have come off of these structures.
Just working on it. One track. The village there at that hollow, you talked about a village there with a mound on it down in the bottoms from Shield.
Oh, it's Shield?
Yeah, that was in the bottom.
Yeah, it's a
on the,
very small mound.
okay. You thought it was a platform mound?
Oh no, it was nothing like that. It wasn't no bigger than one that was here.
Okay.
Evidently they were living out on that terrace, and might be a whole lot of their site is
Buried?
buried.
Yeah.
You know, in front of this was interesting too. You know, along the highway in front of the Shield farm, there's a creek valley goes up in there, and this bluff, there's a white cemetery too on the edge, and the bluff curved this way towards the creek, and when they built the highway, they took off this natural ridge, and they found archaic stuff all through it.
Huh.
From top to bottom, it was deep. A lot of grooved axes.
John,
Yeah.
I think you just covered up the microphone.
Okay, I was afraid of that. I was trying to sort of keep it shaded. They put, Tom, they put this,
Adler?
this by right thing over this, remember that Hall Road went through there?
Jesus Christ.
Well, the Adler Mound was back over here, yeah.
You mean a county
Yeah.
road?
I don't even recognize the damn place anymore.
I know, it took me, went by here about a couple of weeks ago and didn't realize they had put that car on.
Found at the Meister side on it.
Yeah, Tom. Just talking about the Florence material.
Oh, yeah.
The pottery is exactly like Tammany pinched and Tammany punctated.
We'll drive up past it on the way back.
I've seen a lot of black sand sites, but never one that had the two pottery mix, you know, together.
Yeah.
And these was underneath the Hopewell Mound, so it was not plowed under or anything. It was there. And Tammany pinched and Tammany punctated from down in Mississippi is identical. Clay tempered, all of them were clay tempered, whereas all of the local stuff was grit tempered.
I told you we got more of that, looks like Florence stuff out on that Goose Lake thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just kind of nice. That's where all those Goose Lake, diamond Peisker, type diamonds.
I really lost it. We worked 4 months, hard as hell on that Peisker site in Gumbo. Excavated what was left of 3 Hopewell mounds that had been flattened. And Spriever talked me into letting him have the collection to work with for a student. A student still has it after 20 years.
You know who it is? We'll track
Yeah,
it down.
it's a gal up in Wisconsin.
Not Lynn.
But I wrote to her a couple of years ago, and she said, well, Stuart, I graded it. All I got left is the junk. So what the hell's the use of going after it? That really burned me. I was supposed to get it back in 2 years, so I could do a report on it. Never got it back.
That was Julian. Oh God, that was...
So I gave her my papers, and she did do a report on it.
That wasn't Lynn, was it Goldstein?
No, was a gal that worked at the same time as her. A long, rangy gal. She used to run all the time, seemed like.
Yeah, this is, I don't know if you're going to recognize any of this anymore at all.
Car or something that's off looking around. That was all
I'll tell you, I found a globus up here.
At all.
Yeah, Brand has a collection
Walking around
off
kind of
part of
asking
it
questions,
too.
who he was, and then he just leaves. That's like,
They put a
oh
house on that damn place.
There was a real nice,
Yeah, they put a house on, but here the globe is just over about where that barn is.
used to be a real nice restaurant here.
Yeah, I remember that. And the Oneota stuff was got down closer to the edge of the bulldozing that where they're taking out the rock.
What side is this?
This is Stola Quarry. This is on the back side of it.
Yeah, this is the back side. It's the slope that way that had the stuff.
Yeah, this is Stola Quarry.
what is it?
Stola Quarry. And then, what was it? You had the Oneota, and there was woodland stuff.
Yeah, the Oneota pottery and the Clovis and a lot of arcades. One guy found a grooved axe he saw out here from his car.
And they went all the way back over. Yeah.
Over, there's a road over there at one time. I guess it's still there.
Yeah, we'll drive back past it. I can't really get back into it anymore. The quarry.
So most of the stuff was pretty close to where they were actively mining back, or?
It's like a terrace.
Well, I'm sure that they removed some of the sites because
right here.
they were down further.
Yeah, this is where we are right here.
We're right here. There's a couple of houses, and then they show it all quarried away.
On this side of this house. The forward slope had most of it.
Out towards the creek. It was
Yeah.
What, Clovis Point? You know where that's at now?
Yeah.
You got it? What kind of church is it? What?
The top off of the lower part of that ridge, they probably got most of the Oneota side because all they had was the upper ridge, upper area of it. We didn't find out.
He did. He's got a nice bone hairpin, I think. that
Yeah,
came
he
from there.
did. I remember that. He did. That's right. That's probably an Oneota hairpin. probably had parts of pottery too there. He must
This
have had
flipped up, I guess. It's done.
Mississippian site down there near Roots, you know where the
Yeah.
Kaskaskia site is? He gave them some really fine Mississippian pottery from the hillside there. It's different from anything I've seen up here. So you might find out where in the hell. Let's see, that's Mikester's got that now, hasn't she?
Their foundation or whatever?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Ask her if you're interested in that stuff. Ask her to dig it up. Well, I told you there was the Tanner's points.
Yeah.
And then he dug the lake with the trash pits up there. He dug a lot of it. I'm pretty sure he saved all the pottery.
Yeah, Brad, you've talked to him. When was the last time you talked to him? Did some time?
10 years ago?
He sold his collection, I heard.
Really? I hadn't heard that, but he was talking about Fecht always coming over and bothering him.
Yeah, I know. Fecht was a pain in the ass.
Is that Ray Barry?
Yeah. I think he was talking about Fecht was particularly interested in a cache of plummets he found at the Snyder site.
Yeah.
Tom, there's supposed to be another one of those vertical log cabins here at this one. Yeah.
Inside that house?
Yeah. They had a fire and it exposed when they were cleaning it out. This one? Yeah. I think Bonnie knows about it, and I think some of the the historical people know about it.
Well, we had a good spot for our early French type houses.
Recipient stuff from the Zebri site. You talked about this chert called a Dupo chert, but it turned out to be Crescent Hills chert. Why did you have this idea of a Dupo chert? Just because you found?
Oh, he wanted to know the nearest area that it could have come from.
Right.
It could have come from here. It could have come from further north. You know, a lot of these Daltons are made out of it.
Right.
It's actually Burlington.
Right.
But those names weren't straightened out then.
Okay.
They didn't even have a name.
Okay.
That's why we call it Dupo, because of the quarries here.
Okay.
The Burlington was named later.
One of those, Tom, one of those CDC, I guess is it CDC grants?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they're drilling out there now.
Right.
See, it sounds like that place is going to move from Columbia up to here.
Oh, does it? Okay.
They're going to put I guess it's a chemical recycling type of thing down in Columbia. They were trying to stay down there, but they're going to move up to here. Yeah, I pulled the old notes on that stuff to see what we had from out.
Was there much out there?
Not really. I think there was more of it within the right-of-way than there was out there.
Yeah.
What I thought I could do, I was going to go talk to them and see, because they've got a grid out there breaking the land is, for that site, but they don't have stakes on it. So that's what I was going to ask them about is whether they're going to do
Well, I think
anything
Joyce
with that.
had followed up and talked to Decca, but they didn't have any information on it.
Somebody's back there pulling a cord and wanted a bunch of birds get under it, because they try to hold those things and they're just too damn heavy. You can't do it. It's not a casting net. It's probably a drop net. Before I left, I could never understand that man. I figured that if he published these reports, that he could sell them. He could make money, but he'd rather get the cash. He's just like the politician. They'd rather have the money, not work for it. Like a lot of cities and towns could do a lot of recycling and make money if they handle it right. But hell, why do that if you can get the money, tax money?
Yeah.
But I'm almost certain that they are a system of a drop net. I know they're fastened on nets.
I mean the plummets.
The plummets, yeah. You only need 5 or 6 or 8, something like that. And you take a 4-foot square or something like that, setting 4 feet or 5 feet above the water, and you've got all kinds of birds crowding each other out. And even if there weren't, if you baited it, you could still get enough birds under there, a couple of dozen maybe. Drop the net on them, you got them. In making the plummet, they start with a piece of material that they're going to use for red ochre anyway. And they simply guide it into a form they use after they're done.
This is you were talking about the Tysker pottery.
Yeah.
The stuff that we got. This is what Tom had over here. Here it is, Tom.
Yep.
Tell us all about it. Or do we have to go read the report?
It's long ago. It was large.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Ideal
Early
site,
woodland
wasn't
stuff was right
It was
here.
a cemetery here too,
And,
Mississippi.
Was there?
Unfortunately, Mississippi Cemetery was in that triangle that was all safe, so we dug it anyway.
Keep your hand in.
Oh, that's,
They had to
that's
use it for
neat.
staging area. They weren't sure whether they could be doing it. I sure hell like to know what's up on the.
Uh-oh, here we go, some cars. Let them get by.
That's an ideal site right there. And it was deep here. The lake was deepest right here.
We had some middle woodland stuff. Now the stuff Tom had was buried. The early woodland stuff that he had was buried here. There was no indication. Did you ever look at
Clear
that?
back here.
You ever look at the surface collection from that? When I remember, it was
The
real.
site?
Yeah, it was.
There
really,
were a few sherds, but
They were real small,
yeah,
weren't they?
basically nobody really recognized them at the
I
time.
wonder what that guy dug out
What it
when he
was
dug the
was
basement.
down off the slope, I mean, where the old surface came out from out the other under the overburden where the channel was. The two deposits kind of ran together slightly, and that's where the stuff was, being picked up, but just really minor amounts of it.
The surface stuff that was where that subdivision was, I think it was some indication of middle woodland.
You know, you up there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. It was just a little light
Nice, well, maybe a
Miller flakes, occasional Miller flake.
It was a pretty.
It was under the stairs.
It wasn't Moorhead strength, was it? It was an Indian?
We found several of Moorhead's 8-inch borings on Prince Albert tobacco trees or something like that.
Yeah. Y'all's marked this area where he was in.
I'm pretty sure this is mine. Before.
Where was that trench that washed out when they had that flood? Are we walking in that now, Greg?
Yeah, between Mound 34 and the ridge.
It's amazing when you go through it and add from over here. Like we dug over there, or even Bill got over there. The whole look on it.
cut through. And Moorhead left a few burials. He dug some out of it, but he washed them.
So this was 34 here. Then where that flood went through.
Cut a big real cut.
You can see the notch.
And then the shark. Where was the Shark's Teeth Club?
They were plowed up over there at the corner.
And that's where that other borrow pit was.
And at the edge, there's a cemetery Moorhead dug there too, and they came out of that.
You think that's where McAdams Cemetery was too?
Maybe at McAdams. One of them reported it,
Okay.
and the plow turned them up. And they were
Was the club with burials?
one.
With one. Okay.
But it's in the same cemetery crew.
What was the other thing? That borrow pit you were talking about that they had filled in was over there.
There was one over there, and then there was one when this washed through here. There was a high ridge right in there somewhere.
Another borrow pit.
Canoe skull, and other things down at the bottom.
How deep would you say that
The
was?
skull had the flat head.
The flat head. But how did you get to the bottom of the borrow pit?
Yes.
And how
That
deep?
stuff should all be a gill grease.
Okay.
And probably more large pit or something like that.
Where was the engraved whelk shells that you found?
Oh, right here, Mount.
Like a little platform we talked about coming off of it, right?
Yeah, well, coming through here also. Oh, yeah. You on it?
Yeah, it should be.
There was a platform, this one, up here about. And you could see this one.
Uh-huh.
And underneath was a 20-foot wide trench and had an awful lot of nice pots for dinners.
Okay.
On the original ground. There were other burned houses and stuff under here. There still is, because we just went to a wall. That is, we just ran a straight wall and quit.
Uh-huh.
So it's still over there. The rest of them, there were even burnt tools in it.
Where were the houses?
And the other one came this way. But it wasn't very long. But it was a definite, what do you call it?
Right. Terracing.
Terrace.
Okay.
Where were the houses with the copper working and the one with the flint? Right here?
Right here.
A couple of burials, one up here in Mounds that Joe Walters was visiting at the time, and he took the skull home. I think he actually reported it.
Okay.
Right down. Just a little family coach, you know.
Yeah.
This is where the lead was too. The lead pile.
The pump. Yeah.
Some big chunks of flint behind that.
Okay. And then
Really good grade.
the other copper working area was over there.
On that ridge.
But all
But I'll tell you something about this. Interesting. If you get the gill grease to see the stuff. There was what looked like a crucible. It was burned yellow, it was thick, and made, with a rounded bottom.
uh-huh.
They've been heavily fired. We were wondering if they might have dumped snapped copper.
It should be possible to
That was
tell.
a big enough chunk that you could tell,
Yeah.
half or 3/4. The only thing I've ever seen that looked like a crucible.
That was all within how big
In
an
this
area?
area of the copper thing.
That was with this particular area here.
Yeah.
Now all that how that's sculpted out, is that from the flood itself?
Well, I don't remember that high spot, but it's probably been washed down to here and then got built up. See that up there?
I think that's Mound 19 there.
You sure?
19 and 20.
Let's see.
Where's this map?
Yeah, that would be 19 if that's what you're talking about. 18 would have been back.
18 are close to the stockade.
Yeah. 35 is all the
That's right.
water. The sword backed
That was
up.
in Belleville.
Yeah, it was in Belleville on the hill. It was 3 days before I could get down here. I could see cars swimming across the road, you know, their backs sticking up there, dragging on the bottom. When I got here, nobody had been here. And they just plowed it. And all of the plowed dirt went down there. And everything was hard pan. And there was right in there somewhere. There was pottery pots sticking up and things like that. Not many.
Yeah.
That's where the real nice gold came from. Then over there was oh, right here too. House pattern, you know, trenches, wall trenches filled with conch shell scrap. Stuff like that. They were unbelievable. You ought to see what's under this plowed ground if you can move it.
Yeah. Did anyone ever take any photographs of it at the time? Do you remember?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. And then it did it again. There was another hard rain in
10 years later, in a fall, I think, 11 inches. And boy, those houses had water up 4 feet on them, out there on the highway. The museum don't seem to me like it's any higher than that.
They built up 5 feet, so it should be above most of some problems. Now all the this material is at Gilcrease, right? That you got out of this area.
Yeah.
And are your notes, and did you have to take photographs when you're digging, or did?
Well, I gave them slides of the stuff.
Okay. But all the notes and everything, and maps or whatever, are there too.
They're there, but God knows, I don't even know if they're going to keep the sherds because they couldn't figure out why we were saving all those sherds.
It's a nice art museum.
Well, it's not that, it's that the people that got there just aren't trained.
Yeah.
Most of them are related to politicians. That's what I hate about museums is the politics. It screws up the good intent, you know, that the really sincere people have.
Right. Now you also did some testing out along the bank, the creek bank, didn't you?
Yeah, we dug about where that thing is.
The stockade.
Quite an area. A lot or something like that, I guess. Griffin had always said there was no red and white. What do you call it? Red film pottery. We found a bowl that was buried into a trash pit. It was full of corn or something, but it was about this big, with a big round bottle with a big round neck and red stripes. That's a Gilcrease. When I left, everything was, the Cahokia stuff was all segregated in one area so that they could stay together, you know.
Yeah, one of the things I'd like to do in the future is bring in that stuff, or at least a temporary exhibit, you know.
Well, you could, I would guess you could borrow it.
Yeah, we'd contact them before when we were getting ready to build this place, and they would do things on short-term loans, but not long-term or permanent. You may try and...
Well, that big stone pipe, that limestone pipe, 9 inches long, that's from up on top of the bluff. Just saw the terrace mound. That's there too. It's really nice. You wonder how in the hell they're going to build a limestone stem that long. You know, they did a beautiful job. And when they were putting in some Negro burials, I think somebody got pipe preforms out of limestone. Yeah, he may have.
Do you remember that clay ball cache? The septic tank with the points that were in it that someone found?
I think over at the subdivision.
Was it in the subdivision
That was
overhead?
Feck's report, I think.
Okay.
Wasn't that right, Dave? Someone told us about that.
Yeah, as I
Yeah,
understand it,
it's,
it was a subdivision.
I think they were digging a cesspool hole.
Yeah, probably.
But it was in the subdivision with
Yeah,
the one
across
that was taken
Yeah,
out.
the one that's over by the plaza.
Okay.
I remember helping that woman dig that mound over there. That has a big circular house in it.
Harriet Smith.
Harriet, yeah. I haven't seen her in years.
She's not too healthy right now. She's in a nursing home
Yeah.
up in Chicago.
See that house over there where he's adding the story?
Uh-huh.
house in over there from the site, and when he dug up the crawl space, he hit a pot cache.
Pottery?
Yeah.
And no burial?
In the museum, we've got the pieces glued together, part of it. Anyway, it's on display next to the simulator dig.
Well, those mounds over there always had good points on them. I found a plummet out there that the Mississippians were using for a paint stick. They were grinding the end off of it.
They found it themselves.
They found it. Yeah, they found it and were using it.
Now, we found some skeletons with file teeth in this area too. Yeah.
I think it was only 3 burials or something like that.
Now, is this the place where you found the tall skeletons, the 6 people, men and women, or very tall, or is that one of the other sites you worked on? Someone remembered it from a tape you did from the last talk, the time you were up here, you mentioned finding 6 people that were 6 foot so.
Oh,
That's Shield site. I kind of thought so.
They really had some big people. You see them tonight.
Okay.
How deep were these skeletons you found like here?
Well, they were not deep because they were washing out. The boy had to dug some of them. I think it was in between here or on that side.
I think he also has some file teeth.
Yeah, at that time they wouldn't have thought anything of it.
Right.
I often wondered what they had.
Where did you find the female twin then?
Shield side.
Is there a story behind that?
No, you see it tonight. Wait a minute, that slide's missing too.
We probably have that in our set then. We get back to the building.